Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Rohit and this is the integration series and this is the 7 sessions of the integration series. In these sessions, we'll talk about that import set API REST. The last video we talked about that import set web services, how the import set web services can be generated and using the import set web services, how we can data can be transformed from the your staging table to your target table, how we can create the problem record, how we can do some kind of validation. Now, today it's a lightweighted session. In this session, we'll talk about that how we can do the import set API. Instead of SOAP, we can use the REST message. Okay. So without wasting time, let's get started. So very first thing is that if we go back to the web services, and under this web services, we created that problem web services, you can say, and using this problem web services, we are actually using the SOAP message, we are actually putting the data, and from the transform map, we are sending the data. So if you see here, this is the WSDL or endpoint we are using. If you think in a deep way, what is WSDL contains that service the instance, then my staging table name, which is the u underscore problem. This is the staging table. You can also see this in this transform map. This is the staging table and a question mark on and then WSDL. So what does it mean by that? The data is coming to this import set table, and through this import set table, the data is transforming to the target table. But the only thing is that only difference is that all these validation are into the transform map. So this is how the SOAP is work. But can we use as a REST also? Yes, we can use this import set API or import set as a REST. So if you see my documentation, in the inbound options or inbound integration, we use the table API web services, we use the direct web services. Each and every web service have a two method. One is the REST, another is the SOAP. So similarly, import set web services, we have a SOAP, and then we have also another option called import set API REST method. How do we use that import set API REST method? So if I go back to my documentation chapter 12, using REST message also we can pass data from import set to the target table. So basically what we'll do, using the web service or import set API, we will send the data to this staging table u underscore problem, and from this u underscore problem, transform map automatically will take care of this transforming the data from this u problem to the problem table. How? Or we can pull all kind of, put all kind of validation that we have put using the SOAP message. So we already put some kind of validation in our SOAP message. We can put the similar kind of validation in our REST message also. Both SOAP REST work similar method. Both methods are data first stored to import set, and then using the transform map from import set to the target table, the data transformation happens. We can put all kind of data validation in our transform map. Transform map is the medium to move from staging table to the target table. So this is the method we use. Now in this import set method, similarly we did into that SOAP message, we have a lot of methods, but in this REST we have these are the methods available. First is that create a record in a import set staging table. So using that you can create one single record to the import set table. Insert multiple records from same request. So using that, using the one request, you can create multiple data to this import set, retrieve a import set record. So this is the another method. These three methods, using that we can do that. So let's copy this one. This is the method, and here I will open this here. So I'll put this here. Now here I need to put the instance name. In our case, we do have the instance. So this is the instance name. I'll copy this instance name, or maybe this is my ServiceNow instance, and replace with this one. And here, if you see this, it is little bit different between table API and then import set API. We have a /import, and here I need to put that import set table name. Our case, import set table name is the problem. And here authentication, it will be as it is called basic authentication. This is the username password that we already provided. Now in this raw, we have to select that raw and here you can select that JSON, and inside the JSON we need to be passed the data. So data as a JSON format. So we'll pass all these field one by one. Okay. So let's go back to our U underscore problem table. So I'll go back to the U underscore problem table. And if I open that, we have a basically one field called configuration item. And this is the configuration item that we have to be passed. So let's say this is the configuration item. And in between there will be colon. Next field is that we do have called a problem statement. So I will open that U underscore problem statement. So this is the problem statement. And then we have another field called description. So these are the three fields we have created during our SOAP message. So we are going to leverage the same fields. Now I will put the message here. So let's say problem statement is the REST API testing. Here I'll put the same kind of data. Now if we send that, remember one thing, that U underscore configuration item is the mandatory field that we have already tested. So let's send that. The last video we already do a validation call. First of all, it's giving me the error that the get method is not allowed, because if you see my documentation, this method is the post method. So I have to change this type get to post and send that. And then configuration item is a mandatory field. You can see we got an error that CMDB CI, the mandatory field is target record not found. So basically this is the error that we are getting. So if we pass this ABC, so first validation is that it's a mandatory field, and if we put ABC and try to hit the enter, you can see that this ABC is already exists. So I'll put the XYZ and then send that. You can see that it's saying that the reference fields value from the task.cmdbci rejected, abcxyz, target record not found. So it's the second validation we are doing. And then third validation, if we put that actual CI, so let's say if I go back to this problem table, U underscore problem table, and then here configuration item is nothing but this is the one configuration item, and pass this configuration item. So right now the configuration item is correct, but if we send this, we will get that problem statement should be start with the SOAP. So because the last time, if you remember that we have put the validation web services, if I go back to this here and then problem, we put a kind of validation that whenever the data will be coming, data should be this validation should be SOAP message, this method or the statement should be present. So if we change that to problem statement called SOAP message and send that, and then I should be able to create a problem. So this is the problem which is created. So the two method we have discussed here. One is the import set API using SOAP, and this is the import set API using REST method. So using both the method, we can actually store the data, we can actually send the data, and we can do the operation into that our actual table. So this is all about today's sessions. So it is also important that you don't need to be visit my website in each and every time, or you don't need to remember this URL for your reference purpose. This endpoint or these dynamic things can be also generated from the ServiceNow, the way we generated for that table API. So what we have to do, you have to visit for REST API Explorer, So REST API Explorer generate that endpoint, all the endpoint for the REST message that we have. If you go back to this REST API Explorer under this namespace, by default it's open to the table API. You just need to switch that, and inside that you need to search with that import set API. So if you go scroll up, you will be able to find out that import set API. You just need to select that. Once you select that import set API and you select the latest, there are these are the methods which is already available. The method I was talking or I was documented in my web service. So these are the methods is already there. You can see these are the method. You just need to be select the table here. Let's say our case u underscore problem. Once you select the problem, and the bottom you can see that add builder where you can select the field, our case the configuration problem statement and then configuration item, and you can select that other field called we do have. One is the description, so you can select directly from here, and you can see by default it's automatically generating that your data, that JSON format. So let's say I'll say that so message 1 2, here I'll put the same one and then ABC, and if we send that, the data will be created. Simply OK, and the data will be created. You will be able to see the response in our here bottom. You can see this response is showing that the target record not found. Problem statement should be start with the SOAP. So problem statement we should be A should be capital, and then once we send that, it should be generate that. Now you can see it's created the problem successfully. Now if you think about that this endpoint, you just need to share with your customer or any other third-party application. The way we did, you can directly click the CU URL and it can be generate that endpoint for you, and there you can paste that method. Or else whatever method or whatever application they are using, based on that you can generate the code for them. If they are using JavaScript, they are using Python, based on their platform it can be generated. Even if they are using ServiceNow, this code can be generated for them, and you can pass this information to your customer. So that's it for today. If you have any question, let me know in comment section. Thank you very much. Have a great day.